Imana. I am a student in the Bachelor of Maths program in College for America at Southern New Hampshire University, and I am conducting this interview as a part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in a street interview video I am working on for a contribute to society goals. The interview will be used to create a street interview video and submit to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This record will be used salary for this purpose. So the interview information will be temporary stored in the College for America online evaluation system to which only the evaluator and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any questions? Do you use your content to be interviewed and recorded?
Yeah, thank you very much. I, Emmanuel, please my informed answer to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of one student academic work.
Oh, thank you so much, Emmanuel. So I'm going to ask you different questions and you will answer it, and by the time you are not getting the answer, feel free to say I don't know. Thank you so much. So what are the three branches of US government?
Actually, I don't know.
Oh, thank you. What does each branch do?
I'm very sorry for that question, sir.
Thank you so much. So Democrats and Republicans are the major parties of the USA. Can you name a third party?
Again, actually, I don't know.
So what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law? What is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law?
Again, honestly, I don't know.
Thank you so much. My name is Elyse. I am a student in the Bachelor of Arts program in College for America at Southern New Hampshire University, and I am conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in a street interview video. I am working on for a contribute society goal. The interview will be used to create street interview video and submitted to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. America so that my project can be evaluated. These records will be used solely for this purpose. So the interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system, to which only the the evaluator and College for American staff will have access. Do you have any question?
No question I have.
Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes, thank you very much. I, Charles Minyana, give my informed consent to participate in this interview, to be recorded and used as a part of the student academic work.
Oh, thank you so much, Charles Minyana. So I'm going to ask you different questions, and by the time you will know it, you will answer it, and by the time you will don't have the information about it, feel free to say I don't know. Thank you so much. The first question is this: what are three branches of US government?
For sure, I don't know those branches.
Thank you so much. So what does each branch do?
Also, I don't know their roles.
Thank you. So Democrats and Republicans are the two major parties, and the major parties of US. So can you name the third party?
The third party of the US.
Sure.
Also, I don't know the third party.
So thank you. So what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law?
This question also, I can respond that I don't know the answer of this question.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, you are welcome.
while doing the street interview, which was asking three different questions, which are what are the three branches of government, what does each branch do, Democrats and Republicans are the major parties, can you name the third party, and what is the basic process by which a bill become a law. So with this, I used to interview two persons and they give me their concern about those questions. So all of those interviews told me that they don't know what I was asking them. With this, I took a decision of answering those questions. So starting on the first question, we state that what are the three branches of US government? I can answer that the three branches of US government are legislative, executive, and or judicial. So moving forward to what each branch do, I can start on legislative branch of the US government. So it helps to draft proposed laws, confirms or reject presidential nomination for head of federal agencies. Also, this means that this branch helps to select the laws from those drafted. So these branches provide American citizens the right to vote for senators and representatives through free confidential ballots. So this indicates that American citizens have the right to vote for a senator for free. This is most important because citizens got the opportunity to share out their feelings about voting since they have the right to vote for free. So this helps them to choose a leader who can represent them based on their interests. So moving forward to executive branch, it carries out and enforce laws. So it includes presidents, vice president, or cabinet, and cabinet. With this, there are like key roles that executive branch play, which include presidents, where president leads the country. Again, the president is the head of state, leader of the federal government, and commander of chief of United States Armed Forces. Oh, on the other side, the vice president, he or she supports the president. Again, if the president is unable to serve, the vice president become a president. So cabinet members serve as advisor to presidents. They include the vice president, head of executive department, and other high-ranking governmental officials. With this, much of the work in the executive branch is done by federal agencies, departments, committees, and other groups. Yes, this infograph is showing the branches of US government. So here on the branches of US government, there are legislative, which make the law, executive, which carry out the laws, and judicial, which interpret the law. So in legislative, they include Congress, Senate, House of Representatives. So moving forward to executive, there is presidents, vice presidents, as well as cabinet. So in the judicial, there is Supreme Court and other federal court. Moving forward to the judicial branch of the US government, it interprets the meaning of laws, applies laws to individual cases, and decides if laws violate the Constitution. So these indicate that this branch put in application the laws to individual cases. So according to the House resources, I found that all these branches are connected since they help to ensure the government is effective and citizens' rights are protected. So I said this because legislative branch help to make the laws, or executive carries out the laws, and judicial applies the laws. So all these practices are created for the US citizens, which helps to ensure the US citizen rights are protected. So moving to the second to another questions, which said that how are the three branches connected? So how do they regulate each other? So with the check of the balance, each of the three branches of government can limit the power of the others. This way, no one branch become too powerful. Each branch check the power of the other branch to make sure that the power is balanced between them. For instance, the process of how laws are made is a good example of check and balance in action. This is because legislative branch introduce the votes or bill, then the bill goes to the executive branch where the president decides whether they think the bill is good or the country or is good for the country. So if they realize that the bill is good, they go ahead and sign the bill and it become a law. Or on the other hand, if the president does not believe the bill is good for the country, he does not sign it. So here legislative branch gets another chance of creating a law. Also, with enough votes, the legislative branch can override the executive branch or veto, and the bill becomes a law. Once a law is in place, the people of the country can test it through the court system, which is under the control of our judicial branch. So if someone believes a law is unfair, a lawsuit can be filed. So lawyers then make arguments for and against the case, and the judge decides which side has presented the most convincing arguments. So this shows the way each branch control another. So on the third question, who said that Democrats and Republicans are the major parties, can you name a third party? So the third party are minor parties. So how do these two party systems start? So they started as Federalists and Anti-Federalists, led the Jefferson and Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton believed that for the United States to be successful, it would have to be formed in a similar way to the British imperial model that had been seen successful. So while Thomas Jefferson, he believed that a central treasury and national army would endow the central government with too much power, that an economy driven by financial would lead to reckless gambling. So he also thought a strong president would be no better than a Polish king. A, a reference to Polish tradition of aristocrats electing their monarch from among their number. So what impact do the third minor parties have on the national politics? I can say that the third party may also help voter turnout by bringing more people to the polls. So again, the third party candidates at the top of the ticket can help to draw attention to the other party candidates down the ballot, helping them to win local or state office. Moving forward on the question that's asked that what impact do third party have on national politics? So the third parties in the United States, even though they meet with different obstacles, for instance, in American politics, they usually are not even allowed on the ballot due to the lack of popular support and signature to warrant a praise under local laws. So, however, third party do play an important role in the national politics. Third party usually organize and mobilize along with a single issue or position, or putting pressure on candidates from major two political parties to address the issues, as well as to work hard during their campaign. So the minor party is currently acted as a catalyst of the change. So there should be there should be the decision that should be taken by the two parties, but the minor party is always there to influence that decision to be changed. And I can easily say that acting as a catalyst of the change is where the minor party is simply practicing its role, where it can influence the change about the decision taken by the two parties. Moving forward to the fourth questions, which was asking that what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law. So I can say that after both houses and Senate have approved the bill in identical form, the bill is sent to the president. If the president approves of the legislation, it is signed and becomes a law. If the president takes no action for 10 days while Congress is in session, the bill automatically becomes a law. So I can start saying the process by which a bill becomes a law. Firstly, the example of minor parties in the US include Liberty Party, the Green Party, Constitution Party, and other that have less influence than major parties. So the Liberty Party support Elyse's fair policy, small government, and is characterized by being socially liberal and fiscally conservative. So Green Party is a progress party that emphasizes socialism. So as we continue, this means that the Green Party is continuing to emphasize the things that cannot harm the environment, while the Constitution Party is a socially and fiscally conservative party backed by religious right. This means that the Constitution Party is the socially and fiscally modest party sponsored by religious right. So again, the second, I can move to the 9 steps in which shows that, how a bill becomes a law. So the 9 steps in which a bill becomes a law, I can start by the first step, which is bill is drafted. So according to the first, which said that bill is drafted, with this step, both senators and House of Representatives who have ideas for a law can draft a bill. So these ideas comes from the Congress members themselves or from everyday citizens and advocacy groups. So the second step is the bill is introduced. So when the bill is drafted, it must be introduced. This is most important because once a bill is introduced, it can be found on a Congress, which is official government website that tracks federal legislation. So to mean that this Congress or government help to track what legislation made with this, or if representative is sponsored, the bill is introduced in the House, while if a senator is a sponsor, the bill introduced in the senator. So this shows that the bill drafted introduced based on where it is drafted. So moving on, the third step is the bill goes to the committee. So with this step, as a bill was introduced on the second step, it is passed to committee. Here both the House and Senate have the several committees composed of groups of Congress members who are particularly interested in different topics such as health or international affairs. So the community is here to help in judging what is good for community. With this, if the committee does not act on a bill, the bill is considered to be a deal. So the first step is the subcommittee review of the bill. With this step, subcommittees are organized under committees and have further specialization of a certain topic. So this means that subcommittees are arranged under committees and have more and like specialization on a certain topics. So with these committees refers to have more and like specially or this committee refer to have bill to subcommittees for study and their own hearings. So here subcommittees may make changes to the bill and must vote to refer a bill back to the full committee. So the fifth step is the committee markup of the bill. So with this step, when the hearing and subcommittee review are completed, the committee will meet to mark up the bill. So this means that the committee will meet after finding what comes is or the subcommittees review so that they can strain up a bill. So here the committee can make changes and rewrite prior to recommend the bill to the floor. So with this, if committee vote not report legislation to the full chamber of Congress, or the bill dies. So while if a committee votes in favor of the bill, it is reported to the floor. So moving forward to the sixth step is this step is voting by the full chamber on the bill. So with this step, once bill reaches the floor, there is additional debate and members of full chambers vote approve any amendment. So to mean that's when a bill reach on the floor, there will be other additional debates of the member to that full chamber can vote to approve any amendment. Here the bill is passed undefeated by the members voting. So moving forward to the seventh step is the referral of the bill to the other chamber. So with this step, when the House and Senate pass a bill, it is transferred to the other chamber where it usually follows the same route through committee and finally to the floor. So this means that the chamber that received the bill which reviewed with both Senate and House will need to follow the same route that the committee used to final floor. So here, this chamber may approve the bill as received. So, or reject them, ignore them, or change them. So, moving on the eighth step, the bill goes to the president. So, with this step, after both House and Senate have approved the bill, in identified form, directly the bill is sent to the president. So after the president receives them, the president approves the legislation and it is signed and becomes a law. So here, if a president takes no action for the 10 days while Congress is in session, the bill automatically becomes a law. On the other hand, if the president opposes the bill, they may vote the bill. So I can say the ninth and the last step is overriding a vote. So here is the president vetoes a bill. So Congress may attempt to override the veto. This shows that if the president denial a bill, Congress may attempt to overbalance the veto. So also if the both Senate and the House pass the bill by two-thirds majority, the president's veto is overruled and the bill become a law. So thank you so much for this. This infographic is showing how does a bill become a law. So there are many steps in which a bill become a law. So firstly, every law starts with an idea. The idea can come from anyone, even you. So the second is the bill introduced. So a bill can start in either House of Congress when it is introduced by its primary sponsor, or a Senate or a representative. So the third one is the bill goes to committee. So the fourth, Congress debates and votes. So, and these members of the House or Senate can now debate can now debate the bill and propose changes or amendment before voting. So the fifth is presidential action. So in the fifth, when the bill reaches president, or he or she can approve and pass it. So the president can also veto. The president rejects the bill and return it to a Congress with the reason for the veto. Or also there is another which is called chose no action. The president can decide to do nothing. If Congress is in the session, after 10 days of no answer from the president, the bill then automatically becomes a law. So another one, there is pocket veto. If Congress adjourns or goes out the session with the 10 days period after giving the president the bill, the president can choose not to sign it and the bill will not become a law. So the last step, the bill become